Let music be your therapy. Now, there's a whole discipline of dance and movement psychotherapy, which is used within the NHS, but I want to go broader than that. And so, there's a whole science around that, and there's a whole therapeutic discipline around it, and for good reason. And certainly, I use movement, and many of you know that sometimes I'll use music too. I loosely call myself a musician as well. Certainly music has been present in my life throughout my life and still is. In my journey, I've studied music and its influence on well-being. If we just look at this as an energetic thing and a vibrational thing, well, we're matter. And actually, if you sing at a glass, we've all seen that you can shatter the glass if you get the frequency right. Well, this is about a frequency of vibration. It's not just about the volume. You've just got to get the pitch right. Then, as pure resonance of a tissue, then that tissue has no choice but to vibrate. And so all the time we're talking or we're being subject to sounds, then it is having an effect on us. Now, the question is whether that's therapeutic or not. Now, there have been all manner of ideas and explorations around sequences of music, of different sound frequencies, of different hertz affecting different things. I could speak about the Tibetan bowls and how that sometimes they are actually tuned. They're not random. They're actually tuned to the harmonic frequencies of the chakras. And this might all have seemed a little bit curious, but actually there's evidence really around the frequencies which seem to resonate most with the heart, for example, and Heart Math certainly have done this research. So the frequencies that will affect different parts of our bodies. Now, another interesting thing, and layering slightly over with the somatic world, something that I certainly might use, is the making of sounds. And Peter Levine is very famously using the VOO sound. And that tends to, and you can feel it, by all means try this if you're at home. If you make a VOO sound, then actually you can feel, and we might encourage people to feel the vibration in the body. Now, the research has shown that this actually stimulates the vagus nerve and the parasympathetic system. So we might use it to do two things. One, to stimulate the parasympathetic system to help people regulate. And the other is helping people to feel. And sometimes if we can just simply feel a vibration, if we've had to dissociate from the body, we might feel a vibration from that. Yeah? If we move, if we hit a different sound, a different pitch, it may hit somewhere else, like now for me it's here and not so much down here. Actually, if we move to an R sound, that's very much more here. She becomes up very much here, so we might be sort of getting an influence here in brow chakra or sinuses or upper cervical. And certainly if we're wanting to get people to tune into the felt sense of this somatically, maybe if there's tension or they've dissociated and that's their locking pattern, perhaps we could get some vibration which might do something to get input into the sensory motor cortex, which then has an impact out into the motor pattern and so changes the tone in muscles. This is one possibility. So whether it be tapping into the nervous system, physically having a sensory motor in and out impact is a possibility as well. Now, the Gaiaoan monks, many of us have heard these sounds, and I remember looking in my journey at indigenous cultures and how they heal trauma, how their spirituality and social engagement actually is normalized for them. The Gaiaoan monks make these sounds that we might know about, and it's partly a meditational tool, but I was amazed when I found out that actually it's a self-healing tool, and what they're doing is they're partly going around the body going, well, okay, if I use this particular frequency, that seems to affect the vibration of my liver, and therefore if I'm vibrating it, might that have some influence on the nerve supply there, might that have some influence on the blood supply to that organ and therefore its health. I mean, this sounds a little bit weird and wacky, but it really maybe we probably need to do some more research onto whether that theory actually carries out. But certainly that's the hypothesis that they would work on, and my practical personal experience of having tried these things in my journey is yes, they do. They really can have an impact. I may not want to necessarily try doing a practical demonstration here, but you can go and find that out. But the kind of these kind of sounds will actually be vibrating. Try it and you'll go, God, I can really feel that in my body. Now the question is, what is it doing? Well, that's an interesting sort of physiological conversation that we could have. Now the other thing, let's just moving away from the physiology a bit, is it's an emotional experience, music. It makes us smile, and it can be a social thing. I have a really good best friend is as a music composer, and he's really seen how students' grades improve across the board, not just maths, but that their maths work improves as a result of being passionate about their music and not just studying black notes on a white page, but really engaging emotionally and empathically with the felt sense. I sing, and there are times where you go, I could cry. There's such a connection, there's such a power, or it makes you smile and you come away and you feel different. We like going to listen to gigs, we like dancing around. Let's look at this and go, well, oh yes, but where's the science? Oh, come on. You're not trying to tell me that this person isn't affected somehow because they've come out of a concert and they've felt alive. What is it doing? Anything that makes us feel like that has to be doing something positive for our health. If we're all on board with the idea of how our thoughts affect our feelings and affect our well-being and the converse of that, then surely anything that has an impact on us at an emotional level and makes us feel good has to be good for our well-being. In terms of how we are feeling, again, to my friend, right, movie soundtracks. Try listen to something without the soundtrack on it. It's a completely different experience. When you put the soundtrack in, all of a sudden you've got that eerie feel of like something bad's going to happen, or actually, gosh, these two people are falling in love. It's a powerful, powerful experience, is music. Yeah, and given that we know that there's a huge connection between emotion and pain, then I really would, just leave it at that, perhaps, that there's something very powerful about the potential for music and sound therapies in the management of chronic pain and also in chronic illness. Hi, I'm Roger. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons.